Welcome to Nittany Nation Overtime.
And welcome into Nittany Nation Overtime. I am Jack Wascher. Joined with me is the Nitwits from left to right on your TV screen. It's Mark Brennan from FightOnState.com and Lions 24/7. Neil Rudel from the Altoona Mirror, and former Penn State great Keith Goon Conlin finally gracing us with his presence. About a month late, but hey, better late than never. All right, gentlemen, Penn State 2 in a row, defeating their little brother Rutgers yesterday in Piscataway. Mark Brennan, your takeaways from the second consecutive win for the Nittany Lions.
Well, my biggest one is I like how Goon waited until after a win to come in and break things down. But, hey, you know, Penn State, again, I thought came out, this was the most prepared this team has been all year. And I think it really showed offensively. The offensive line played extremely well. And this is as well as I've seen that defense play since maybe the Maryland game last year. Really got after it, hitting hard, tackling. When Matt Millen 2 weeks ago says this is a poor tackling team, and then this week he comes out and says, you know what, they addressed a lot of those things. I think those are positives, maybe better late than never scenario here.
Yeah, I think that they are now developing an identity, and some of that is on offense. You're going to rely on a line that you thought would be good, and defensively, that unit has been challenged. And I think they made a conscious effort, obviously, to run the ball. When you bring your backup quarterback in and he runs 17 times, another 25 carries by the quarterback, and not attempt to pass. I mean, that's just an amazing stat. Because typically you bring a backup in, he's at least going to throw some passes. So, you know, I thought that game planning worked well.
Yeah, was very excited about how they came out to play. I had talked on my radio show all last week, like Maryland and Rutgers are all kids who wanted to go to Penn State.
Yeah.
They didn't get in. They weren't recruited by Penn State, so they always had a chip on their shoulder. So I try to let people know that, and I hope that our players had known that. If we came out like we did against Maryland, the same thing would have happened. And I was very happy how we came out offensively and defensively, and getting those 2 fourth-down stops in the first quarter really set the tone, really gave the identity to the defense, and they were really up and going and playing the whole game. And you guys tell me, have you ever seen a Penn State team play more people than they have in the last 2 weeks? I mean, if you have a uniform, you've been in those games.
Yeah, especially on defense. I think that's amped up the competition level for some of these guys that may have been a little complacent, or they've had a lot of moving parts through the illness or the COVID or injuries as well.
Well, it gives you have some flexibility. I mean, I hate to say that you're not really playing for anything, but it's actually true. So what you are playing for is kind of pride and to develop some of the younger players. I thought it was outstanding. You know, people may have missed it, but at the end of that game, they had a bunch of redshirt freshmen and true freshmen playing on defense, especially on the defensive line, a couple guys who had never played before. And to be able to do that, building toward bigger and better things. The coaching staff is never going to say build toward next year, that sort of thing. They can't say that. But I think if they're able to use this last stretch of games to springboard toward next year, real positive.
And what it's done is really up the ante for the starters. I mean, you got guys who are hungry behind you. I mean, those guys up front were playing pretty well Saturday.
Neil, do you think the most stable coordinator on this staff has been Brent Pry? And I feel the defense has underperformed up until the last couple of weeks. Do you think he kind of took it as a challenge? Maybe he doesn't hear Matt Millen, but seeing his defense underperform and then really coming out with 2 great efforts against Michigan and Rutgers and really kind of showing what Penn State was and what got them to last year and winning the Cotton Bowl.
Well, you know, they all say they block out the noise, so to speak. But hey, these people are human. You know, they go home. You know, they have families. You know, they hear what this person said or that. I mean, that's their business and their life. Hopefully. I mean, I'm sure what Matt Millen said got through to the staff.
He was
about
right.
The lack of tackling, and the tackling has improved tremendously.
Yeah, the other thing I liked was the complementary aspect, complementary with an E, as journalists would know. But Goon, when you talked about having those 2 fourth-down stops, then the offense turned those into points.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was missing all year until these last couple of games. And to finally see one unit do well and then the other capitalize, or the offense turn the ball over on a fumble and then the defense pick it up and say, hey, we got your back, I think that was really, really positive toward the end of this year.
You know, Goon, as a former offensive lineman, you know, I think that position group was the most stable coming back. And again, I think they've been underperforming up until the last couple of weeks. They ran it down Michigan's throat. And I know Neil has issues with the quarterback running, but at least on the running back side, they're creating lanes, and you see them just gash Rutgers and Michigan. As a former offensive lineman, just how good is that to see?
Well, it's great. I mean, the greatest friend of a passing game is a good run game. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we got guys who are out there. Don't kid yourself. The tight ends are blocking well too. Our offensive line has really stepped up big time, and it's about cohesiveness. I mean, I would not, as an ex-player, would have want to gone through the camp that these guys had gone through, where they were playing, they weren't playing, they were playing, because camp is already a struggle anyway for an offensive lineman, because you need to work on timing and cohesiveness. And when you don't have that, it's an issue when it reared its ugly head for the first 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and building off that, Goon, Phil Troutwine, you have a new coach too coming in, so that could not have been easy. Phil Troutwine, we were tough on the offensive line early in the year, but I think you have to give him a lot of credit for not, hearing any of the noise and for helping that group come together.
Well, same with Scott, too.
Yeah.
So you had a big transition, the new defensive line coach, who really replaced a guy who was viewed as kind of a heart and soul of the program with Coach Chaos. So, the effort, staying on blocks, getting off blocks, this game was really won up front.
And the other thing I say is that, you're talking about Matt Millen and the team listening to them. If they need that to work that us versus them mentality, it's us against the world, it's working for us for the last 2 weeks, so I would just keep going with it. I mean, we're doing so much better stuff right now within the team that if that's what they needed to do it, then use it.
All right, still ahead on the show, we're going to get Neil. Let him get everything off his chest with regards to the quarterbacks running the football and whatnot. Does he have a solution, though? We'll find all of that out next.